Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cameron. So for today's video, I am going to talk about if college is a scam. Before we get into it, yes, I have to acknowledge that I'm obviously in college and I'm sitting in my college dorm room, but I thought it would be an interesting topic to talk about because I feel like there's this narrative going on online that I've seen a few times about whether people think college is a scam, especially people my age. I feel like a lot of people my age feel like there's no real point to go to college and that it's a scam or that it's pointless. But I just want to unpack that and talk about, is college a scam? But let me just make a disclaimer. In no way am I saying that college is pointless or that it's useless or that it's not a necessity for some people, because I don't believe that. I think college is a necessity for some people, but I don't think college is a necessity for all people. I think if you're the type of person who wants to pursue a certain type of profession, then you definitely need to go to college. Like if you want to be a doctor or if you want to be a lawyer, you definitely need to go to college, duh. So yeah, so that's my disclaimer. So before we get into the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. So without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay, so for me, pretty much all my life, I never knew what college I wanted to go to. I just knew that I was going to college because that was basically the requirement. And I feel like a lot of people growing up have that same feeling. A lot of kids only go to college because they don't want to disappoint their family, not because they actually want to go. And for me, it's not that I didn't want to go. I had no direction when I was younger. Like I had no idea what career I wanted to pursue. I had no idea what college I wanted to go to. I had no idea what I wanted to major in. I had absolutely no idea. If you would have asked me, I would have said, I don't know. Even my parents would have said, it's okay if you want to college. Like that's totally fine. You don't have to go to college. If my parents would have said that to me, I still probably would have gone, just because again, I didn't have any direction. So if I wasn't in college, then I probably just would have been sitting around the house not doing anything, because I don't know what I would be doing if I wasn't in college right now. Well, now I know what I would be doing if I wasn't in college, but back when I was 18, when I first graduated from high school, if I hadn't gone to college, I don't know what I would have been doing back then. Like literally nothing. Some of the career paths that a person wants to pursue doesn't require a college degree. So for me, I want to be a businesswoman, entrepreneur, content creator. That does not require a college degree. Making a YouTube video doesn't require a college degree, even though my major kind of helps with what I'm doing now, kind of. The other things that I would want to pursue in my life, you don't necessarily need a college degree. There's so many people who are extremely successful and don't have a single degree. I feel like there's too much emphasis placed on going to college by our parents, friends, family, guidance counselors. It's like they hammer it into us so heavily, especially when we're in high school, when we're juniors and seniors in high school. For a lot of parents, it's like, you gotta go to college. Like there's no way you're not going to college. You're going to college. And college is just not for everyone. Not everyone thrives in a college setting. The fact of the matter is just college is not for everyone. School isn't for everyone. You can make it just fine in life without ever having stepped foot on a college campus. Like you can be perfectly at peace with your life and perfectly happy without ever having a college diploma. I feel like people put so much emphasis on it because society puts so much emphasis on it, because a lot of people think that if you graduate from high school and the next thing you do after high school isn't college, people look at you weird like, oh, you're not going to college? What? Well, some people just know what they want in life. Some people want to travel after they graduate from high school. Some people want to start a business after they graduate from high school. Some people want to start a YouTube channel after they graduate from high school, and they don't feel the need to go to college. So the next thing I'll say about is college a scam is the price. Anybody who has gone to college, anybody who's looked at the price of college knows going to college is extremely expensive. It's extremely expensive to go to college. The average cost to attend college at a private school is about $38,000 a year, but even more if it's like one of the top schools like Harvard or Yale, it's even more. Well, for a public school, it's about $10,000 a year, and if you're an out-of-state student, it's about $27,000 a year. As you can see, that's a lot of money, especially if you're going to a school that's not in your state. So according to Google, the average income of the American household is about $68,000 a year. If your parents are paying out of pocket to send you to college, that's basically half of their paycheck to send you to college. And especially if they have more than one kid, around the same age, having to send both of them to school, especially if they go to different schools, and especially if they both go to different schools out of state. Twins, like you guys send two kids off to college at the same time. The average income is only $68,000 a year. That's really like digging into the pockets. Like you're gonna take a huge financial hit sending kids to college. Like, I think it's outrageous how expensive it is to go to college. It's like ridiculous. School for your whole life is free. Kindergarten, elementary school, middle school, high school, that's free. But then bam, you go to college and that costs money. Like, why did it have to cost money? According to Google, in America, there are around 19 million kids who live in single parent households. So that's a lot. That's basically 25% of the population. Many single parent households can't afford to send their kids off to college. Basically, the easiest way to go is if you get a whole bunch of scholarships. So if you're one of those really blessed students who got a whole bunch of scholarships, or you applied for a whole bunch of scholarships and you don't have to pay a single penny to go to college, you were definitely blessed. Like, that's perfect. Your parents don't have to pay for anything. You don't have to take out any loans. You just have to make sure your grades are good, and then you're good. You get all your tuition and books and everything paid for. That's like the best. But most people don't have it like that. So if your parents aren't paying out of pocket and you don't have any scholarships, or at least not enough scholarships to fully pay for your tuition, then that means you have to take out a loan. You got to take out student loans. And don't even get me started on the student loans. Like, this, anybody who has student loans, who has paid off student loans, can tell you, like, it's like the worst experience of their life, because FAFSA only pays for so much. It's not gonna pay for everything. Maybe it is for some people, but it didn't for me. I always hear people who are in debt say, like, do not take out a loan. Loans are awful. Like, the debt is awful. Like, people who graduated in 1980 are still paying off student loan debts. It's like, my goodness. I personally feel like college should just be free. Like, at the very least, the tuition shouldn't be anything more than $5,000 a year for every single student, no matter if you live in the state or if you're out of state student. It shouldn't cost more than $10,000 a year, because there are so many students who are skipping college who actually want to go to college, but they're choosing to not go because of how expensive it is, because it costs way too much money, because they just don't have the means to pay for it, or because they live in a single parent household and their parent can't pay for it, or because they just refuse to take out student loans, or if FAFSA didn't give them enough, or if they didn't get any scholarship money. They're just choosing not to go and choosing not to earn the education because it's so expensive, even though they want to go to college. You know, I think it's sad as someone who truly wants to go to college but can't because it's too expensive. I think that's sad. Everyone who wants to go to college deserves a chance to go to college. I feel like a lot of colleges are just really money hungry at the end of the day. Like, they just want your money. Like, they don't care about whether you're enjoying your experience or not. They just want your money, really, at the end of the day. And they raise the tuition more and more every year. If you live on campus, the price of a dorm, how much it costs to live in a dorm, that's extra. The amount you have to pay for books, that's for all students. The amount of books, especially if you're taking like 18 plus hours, you gotta buy like 6 or 7 books. Once you're done buying all the books or renting them or whatever, you're paying up to what? You're doing, that's like what, $100, $200 for books. And some of these books, they be expensive. Even to rent them is expensive. Like $50 just to rent it. When the book costs $100, but it costs $50 to rent it. That's why I love it when teachers like give you the book for free online. Perfect. Like chef's kiss. Like, that's amazing. Back to the dorms. Like, when you live in the dorms, like the grocery, like when I get here every semester, I go to Walmart to get all like my groceries and stuff, and to get like school supplies and all that. That's gonna cost you about like $300. Especially if you're a freshman, it's cost even more because you gotta decorate the whole room. So I think my freshman year I spent like $500 to like decorate my room and to get groceries and to get the school supplies and all that. So I think all together, the money I spent my freshman year, my first semester, is probably around like, it's probably hitting like $700. Your high school senior watching this, make sure you send out those invitations so people can give you money. You don't have to go out of pocket when you get to college, so because it's just ridiculous. The last thing I'll say about price is the campus bookstore. I don't know if it's like this for every college campus, but definitely the college bookstore here, like every single thing in there is expensive. Like, to get a t-shirt costs $35. I refuse to pay $35 for a t-shirt. Like, I refuse to do it. I'm not gonna spend $35 on a t-shirt. And then that's why I say that the college is really money hungry. But yeah, that's all I have to say about price. And so the next, oh, my stomach. Did y'all hear that? Let me drink some water. So the next thing I'll say is that I feel like a lot of college students come to college and they don't enjoy their experience in college. And I know people say like,
oh, you don't go to college to have fun. You go there to get an education and blah, blah, blah.
But if you're gonna spend 4 years at a place, spend money to go there, you actually want to enjoy it and have some type of fun. I know like so many college students who hate college and they don't enjoy it at all, or they've graduated from college and they just didn't have the best experience. it kind of makes you wonder, it's like, was any of it worth it if you didn't enjoy it? You know, I mean, of course you got an education, but like, so I did some research, and again, according to Google, there are about 64% of college students who say that they felt very lonely and depressed while in college. 64%. Can we talk about that? 64%, that's a lot. That's way more than average. So 64% feel lonely and depressed. And this could be because of homesickness, stress from their classes, they don't feel like they're having that much fun, or their workload is too heavy, or just not having any direction, any real direction as far as their career path. That can cause a lot of turmoil for some students if they're in college, especially if they're a junior or a senior and they still don't have any idea as to what career they want to pursue once they graduate. And I feel like college nowadays is just not the same as it was when our parents and our grandparents were in college. It's just not the same experience. It's not the same vibe. It's just completely different. Whenever they talk to me about when they were in college, they always talk about how fun it was and that there's people everywhere, and then music and barbecuing, and like people always hang out on the weekends on campus, and it was just so much fun, and they had the time of their lives. And I feel like it's not the same thing now. It's like people go home on Fridays, people leave, campus be dead. Like if you watch my what it's like going to a HBCU video, then you know, like I said it like 3 times in that video, like the campus is kind of dull, especially now during the pandemic. There's not as many students as it was like my freshman year, but even then my freshman year it was still extremely dull on the weekends. It was more lively during the week, but definitely on the weekends it was ghost town, especially on Saturdays. I feel like because of that, it's just not as fun. You got to create your fun. Like you got to really work hard to create your own fun in college nowadays, and I feel like you didn't have to do that before. I feel like that contributes to why so many students don't really enjoy college nowadays. Another disclaimer, I'm in no way trying to discourage anybody who wants to go to college, especially if you're in high school watching this. Go to college if you truly want to go to college. That's really what I'm trying to say. And sometimes I feel like colleges don't even care about you. You're just a number to them. You're just a check to them, someone who's contributing money to the school. Because let me tell you, what the colleges really care about, they care about the football. That's what they really care about. The amount of times, like if I have a class with a football player, the amount of times teachers like,
okay, who's a football player? Who plays sports? Oh, you're a football player? What's your number? You better bring home a win this weekend. You better be so-and-so this weekend. You better get to practice after class.
You really care about the football because the football is what's bringing in all the money, especially if you go to a big like well-known school. Football brings in all the money. That's what they really care about. That's what they're really concerned about, not you. So if you have nothing to do with football, or if you have nothing to do with any type of sport, or if you have nothing to do with anything that brings in any type of real money to the school, they don't care. Let me talk about like the dorms again. Sometimes like having to share space with people, having to share a room with one person, it takes like a mental toll, just because for me, I'm an introvert, and so I like to spend a lot of time by myself. And so having to share a space, a small space at that, with another person for hours on end is like too much sometimes. Basically having to share space with a complete stranger, it can be a lot. And having to share a bathroom with 3 other people who aren't clean, that can be a lot too. So as you can tell, you can see that I'm like very excited to graduate in May and leave and finally be done. Yeah, I graduated 7 months, so yeah, I'm extremely excited. So it has been reported that 44% of graduates are not able to find a job, an adequate job in the career field that they majored in college. And so then that again furthers is college a scam, because there are so many people who have a degree in one area, but their actual job is something completely different. They'll have a degree in biology, but now they're an influencer. They'll have a degree in psychology, but now they a manager at a restaurant. Say if they have a degree in math, but now they're a receptionist. Like a lot of jobs, they don't care about your grades. They care about if you have experience. Like they might want to see if you have a diploma, but they don't care about what you measured in. They don't care if you got a 4.0. They just want to know if you have experience or how well you work with other people, how good of a fit you are for the job. The internet is so accessible these days. Like you can pretty much find the answers to any homework assignment you have. And so you get a homework assignment, you type in the question, and you get the answer right away. And we're not truly learning anything, you know? And we do that to ourselves. That's not the school's fault, but we're not learning or retaining any real information. You leave college, but it's like, okay, what did you really learn? What did you really take away from it? Are you gonna remember any of the stuff a year after you graduate? Oh, 2 weeks after you graduate, if you're not pursuing a field that you got your degree in, which is a lot of people. And so really my final point is that college degrees are not a necessity to be successful in life. Going to college is not the determinant if you're going to be successful or not, or if you're going to be happy, or if you're going to be at peace in life. When I have kids, I'm not going to pressure them to go to college. I'm going to try to encourage them or to help them figure out what path they want to pursue in life, whether that's college, whether they want to travel, whether they want to start a business, whether they want to be an entrepreneur, whatever it is, whatever is going to make them happy, whatever is going to bring them peace. I'm going to try to encourage them to do that instead of trying to force them to do something just because society tells me I need to force them to do it. If you pressure your kid to go to college and they get to college and they hate it and they're crying every night, what are you going to do then? You're going to feel bad. You're going to feel bad and you're going to feel like, wow, they hate it. They truly didn't even want to go, but I made them go because of what? Because society told me that they needed to go, even though college is not a necessity. So is college a scam? I think college is not a scam if you are trying to pursue a career where a college degree is necessary. Then no, of course not, it's not a scam. But if you're a person who went to college, who one, didn't enjoy it, who two, who got a degree in a major that you are not currently working in, then yeah, I think it's safe to say that you got scammed. It was a waste of time and a waste of money if you fall under those two categories. But I feel like if you went to college and you loved it and you enjoyed it, then no, it wasn't a scam, no. So yes, that's it. That's the end of my video on is college a scam. So remember to make sure you comment down below, tell me your thoughts about if you think college is a scam or not. Tell me your college experience. Tell me if you enjoyed it, if you didn't enjoy it, and why. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for my next video. I love you so much if you made it to the end of this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.